What's going on, y'all? In today's video, we'll be talking through how to take photos at church. Before we go any further, do me a favor. Would you join the fam? Subscribe to the channel as I continue to share knowledge, information, partner with you in supplying the Kingdom Creative with the resources, the knowledge, the tools available to help you take your church content to the next level. Let's dive right into it, okay? Church photography is important, y'all. I've heard people say marketing is not important. The creative side of the church is not important. No, I want to submit to you that it actually is important because it's a key way that you can capture the life, the culture, the dopeness of your church, right? And not only is it a really dope way to capture the culture and the life, right? It's a key engagement tool. You need to have a reach on social media, and you can't do it without the content from your church, right? And so this is why we need to invest, we need to grow as creatives, specifically in this area of photography, okay? So I'm gonna give y'all 6 quick tips, right, on how to take photos at church. First one, let's dive right into it. I got my iPad, let's do it. First one, you wanna switch up your shots. Nothing is worse than having the same redundant shots, right? So what do we want to switch up? We want to switch up our shot orientation, and we want to also switch up our shot sizes. You want to switch up your shot sizes, and you want to switch up your shot orientation. Let's talk through shot sizes, okay? Shot sizes, right? You got your wide shot, you got your mid shots, you got your tight shots, you got your detail shots, right? So you want to make sure that as you're shooting throughout a Sunday, throughout a service, throughout a conference, that you get diversity in those shots, right? Because you don't know what this content could be used for. Details and tighter shots might be nice for cover photos on social media, but wider shots, right, might be good for stuff for YouTube or things that you're going to use. Maybe you're going to get some posters made or something. I don't know what it is. You just want to make sure that you get diversity in your shot sizes. Don't go a Sunday, don't go a conference with the same just redundant wide shot, mid shots. Switch up your shot sizes. Next one, we want to switch up our shot orientation. It's real simple. You got portrait, which is vertical, and you got landscape, which is horizontal. Portrait, vertical, landscape, horizontal. Simple, right? So you want to make sure that you get, some portrait shots. A lot of people on social media, that's predominantly the thing, right? For stories and for reels, you want to shoot portrait, right? But don't just live in portrait land. Make sure you grab some landscape too. It'll ensure that you have a lot of diversity in your shots. And the last one along this line is you want to make sure that you switch up the kind of shots that you're getting. Don't just be stuck on worship and the worship leaders and the pastor. Those are important to grab, right? But there's other things that are going around your church that are going on a Sunday or on a conference that you want to make sure that you grab. Number 2, use the room. You want to use your room to your advantage. I like to say it like this. Don't just work around the room, work with the room. Case in point, our room is kind of on the smaller side. It's kind of tight. And there was a time where we were just trying to work around it. But then I got the revelation, no, we need to work with it. We can actually use this to our advantage. So we found creative ways to get creative on a Sunday morning, capturing the content that we needed. We actually allowed the room to be used to our advantage versus working against it and trying to avoid it, right? So a key way that we've done this is we found windows. Windows are gaps in spaces that you can use to shoot through to your subject. So you can set your camera up right in that window and actually grab great content. Okay, so some examples in our context would be maybe 2 people are standing next to each other in an aisle. That could be a window. You got people raising their hand. That could be a window, right? Get creative. You're on a creative team. I can't stress this enough. You want to make sure that you get creative. Use windows to your advantage to help ensure that you're using the room to your advantage. Another thing that you can do is, I like to say like this, you can use environment rubs. Environment rubs are anything in your environment, in your room, in your shot that you can subtly add inside of your shot to help it get that cinematic kind of feel, right? So maybe someone's, again, let's just go raising their hand. Maybe someone's raising their hand and you want to shoot through your subject. No, you can grab a little piece of that hand and throw it in the foreground or the sides of your shots. And I'm telling you, it's going to make your shots look crazy cinematic. Number 3 is you want to prioritize perspective. Prioritize perspective. So again, we have a little bit of a smaller room, right? And so I needed to find a creative way to make our stage feel larger than life, because our stage is honestly, it's like a little step. But we found a really dope way by just utilizing different angles and different shot compositions to make our room look so much bigger. We found little angles in the room where we can hug a corner and go super wide, and it makes our room feel super wide. So under this point, the big takeaway with this is just get creative with your shooting. Don't just settle for the redundant, stagnant shots. No, there's 52 Sundays in a year. And so you want to make sure that your shots don't always look the same Sunday to Sunday. Find different creative ways to get the same kind of shots in just a different way. You're on a creative team. get creative. Number 4 is polish with presets. I can't stress this point enough because this one right here has changed the game for us. You want to make sure that you polish with presets. Gone are the days of just shooting on auto and just taking those straight off the camera and just posting them on your social media. No, there's another step that you can take to help your content have a unique feel, have a unique look across your social media. And it's through utilizing presets, okay? Presets are pre-made looks that you can go ahead and decide beforehand how you want your content to look, how you want your content to feel, right? You can export that and then use that as the look for inside whatever photo app that you use to edit your photos in. Here were some advantages that we found super useful with using presets. First one is it helps your content stay consistent across your social media platform. Number 2, it expedites the process on a Sunday morning. Some of us have multiple services. That's a whole lot of content to go through, right? Well, presets help speed up that process so you don't have to be hanging out super late on a Sunday morning. Just drop those presets on it. Number 3, it keeps it easy on volunteers, right? A lot of these people we're training, we're trying to get them up to speed. They don't do this full time. Presets are literally just plug and play. Just show them how to use it, and then they're good. And lastly, it helps your content stand out. Our social medias oftentimes are flooded with all types of content, presets help our content stand out. In fact, I want to help you out. What I did was I made a Sunday morning starter pack. I made custom made presets that are available right now. All you gotta do is just check the description. You can go ahead and pick them up. They're custom made presets that you can use. They're specifically designed for shooting in a church context, okay? So you can go ahead, check the description, pick them up, download. And here's the best part. They're compatible with a majority of cameras. For our team, we have people that shoot Sony. We have people that shoot Nikon. We got people that shoot Canon. So what I did was I took the time over a course of time and I fine-tuned these presets to make them perfectly compatible with a variety of cameras. Check the description and go pick them up now. Number 5 is plan the path. You need a checklist, right? A goal of the kind of content that you want to grab on a Sunday morning. Especially with working with volunteers, they want to know what they need to go grab. So make it plain for them. So what we did is we made a Sunday shot list, right? So here are the goals. Here is the checklist that we want to make sure the content that we grab so that we can capture the whole of our Sunday and not just heavy on one thing, right? So here's our Sunday shot list. I'm giving it to you. First one is worship, right? Those are the worship leaders. Those are the band, the crowd, right? Second one is word. So of course, that's the pastor. Any speakers on stage, we want to make sure we grab that. Number 3 is campus life. What's going on around your church? You want to make sure you grab that. You want to grab interactions, heavy on the smiles, people talking, people laughing. You want to grab that. Number 4 is community, right? So that's people getting prayer, people talking with one another, people who are serving. And the next one and the last one is next gen. So those are your babies, your kids, your students. You want to make sure so that's the Sunday shot list. You can just plug and play right there. You want to make sure that you plan the path. And number 6, you want to shoot from Overflow. I think this is one of my favorite points right here because we are shooting worship environments. And I stress this to my team all the time. Sundays can't be the only time that we're in worship. We want to make sure that we're serving and we're flowing from Overflow. We're capturing worship environments. So how can you effectively navigate a worship experience if you have not gone there yourself behind closed doors in your private time? So you want to make sure that you not only practically prepare, right? We prepare the gear, we prepare practically, right? But we want to make sure that we take time to prepare spiritually too, because this is a spiritual task that we're doing. The Bible says that he'll show us things to come. So you can spend time in your quiet time beforehand, before we get to a Sunday, and get with the Holy Spirit beforehand, and he can give you a greater discernment of what's going to take place on that Sunday so you can be prepared to grab those moments. So you just want to make sure that we shooting from Overflow, right? We serve him. This is a spiritual moment. We serving in a spiritual capacity. We want to make sure that we shoot from Overflow. Y'all pray this help. Do me a favor before you go. Make sure you subscribe. Join the Kingdom Creative fam. Until next time, I'm going to let you go. Peace.